Arg. Where we are. We are where we are. We're always where we are. And there's that.
Welcome to Smoke Shop.
Ha! Hey guys. I'm gonna get right to cleaning up this here motorcycle. Carburetor? Motorcycle. But anyway, as you, dear viewer, who watched the last episode, were probably kind of let down by the fact that I didn't get it running yet. I want to make sure that this gets done and we get it running. So, the cosmetics are just that. They're cosmetics. They have nothing to do with functionality. But I still want to, I want to do it while I can get to everything. While the gas tank is off, and while the air cleaner and carburetor and all that stuff is off, the stuff that was in the way preventing me from doing this before. I'm not going to polish it out. All I'm doing is knocking the dust off, again, where I couldn't get to it before. We're going to come around and do that side. All right, gang. Cheesy vacuuming services are in play for all your vacuuming needs. Loud noises. Deactivate loud noises. Loud noises deactivated. Thank you for utilizing loud noises. Alright. Yeah, we'll utilize a little bit of soap. Just a little bit. Anyhow, I'm going to clean this thing up real quick. The seats on these are a little bit weird. It's not weird. They're all different. All motorcycles are different. Basically, what you want to do, there's a bolt back here, and you're going to lift up here. And you're pushing actually kind of down and back because this tab goes into a slot here. So even though it doesn't seem like it would work, you're kind of doing that. Engage. Docking sequence. Just kidding. Step 1. Reinstall accelerator cables. There's probably a trick to this, and I just don't know it. There. All right. We are back in play. And then this bad boy right here goes right. It goes right there. And then theoretically, well, once it's tight, but we hold it tight and then I don't think it's going to make that noise. As a matter of fact, I think if you did that, it would just go and then it would never run again until you rebuilt it. Although, since the crank would probably be sitting on the ground underneath the motorcycle, really wouldn't be worth even trying to rebuild at that point because there's a big hole. Speaking of big holes, I'm hoping that this cooling system was drained properly and or had actual antifreeze in it and does not have a hole. Does not have a hole, period. That's all. All right, that is all engaged. Now then, for my next trick. Amazing. Wow, smoke of smoke shop. We'll realize that that needs to be turned to that direction, which is fine. Now, what we want is we want to, I don't have my glasses on. I can't see a thing without my glasses. Anyway, I'm going to tighten this up, get all these clamps on, get everything from this end on. All right, y'all. For those of you who weren't on the live on Sunday and got the behind the scenes spoiler, basically the carburetor has been installed and I ran a piece of fuel line with a funnel in it, poured some fuel in there, and this thing fired right up and settled right into an idle. You know, that's kind of what we do on the Sunday noon smoke session. That's noon Eastern time. That's our live smoke sesh. Regardless of all that, I had mocked up the bike and everything, but I took it back apart just because I want to put it back together correctly. And so that's what we're here to do today, is finish reassembling the bike. Go ahead and lube up the chain as good as I can, clean up and lube up the chain. Right, and hopefully let's go ahead and see if we can take this thing just up and down my road. I don't want to go too far. I'll show you again, the tires are completely dry rotted, and this thing, I'm not going to take it out on the road or get it up to highway speeds or anything like that. But I'll roll it up and down my road and get it into probably third gear at least. Make sure it shifts smoothly. So let's get to it. So are we going to put the gas tank back on again? Is kind of where I'm at with it. Because as long as we can get to this, I think we're okay. So let's put the fuel tank back on. And for the fourth time, I believe, make sure that we tightened everything else up. Which we did. So I believe we're ready to go with the fuel tank. We're gonna straighten out the wheels again. Wheels. There's only one wheel that can straighten out. I mean, you could straighten out the other wheel, I guess, but only if it was already bent. You can't turn it. I mean, you could if you took it off. Never mind. Anyway, ta-da! Fuel tank's installed. So that's the easiest process on this entire motorcycle, is installing the fuel tank. And that is that. Sweet. So we're going to tighten those up real quick, and I'm going to look into where the drain would be and how to fill this, how much fluid it needs. So we'll be right back. Beep, 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 beep. So what we're going to do is I have purchased some 50/50 coolant. I have no idea if it's going to leak all over the floor. If it does, then we'll clean it up. And that'll be an expensive lesson. But since all I have here is well water, and that's pretty much the worst thing you can do to a cooling system, especially if it's aluminum or whatever, we're going to go with the proper stuff. And I've got me a little Dr. Pepper bottle funnel in here. Wow. Okay, well, it was only a quarter of an inch low, is what that's telling me. I mean, I don't even think I put a cup of coolant in there. So we have a reservoir, an overflow tank here that you're supposed to fill until it's at the F mark. Well, it's black, so I don't know how you would know how to do that. Oh, I see. There's a clear hose on the side. We'll pour some more in there. Why not? What's it gonna hurt, right? Stupid placement for that. It's a 90-degree intake for a liquid. Whatever. It's awesome. If that doesn't make a mess, I don't know what will. I'm just gonna keep pouring it in there and hope that it doesn't make too much of a mess. I mean, it can't not make a mess because it's flat. So that's stupid. Well, there's nothing pouring out of the bottom. It's only pouring out where it's spilling because it's a stupid fill area. Oh, there it is. Yay! This thing actually has coolant in it correctly. That's awesome. What I would like to do next, since there's no reason not to, is put the air cleaner on. And it's gonna go like that. And then this is like that. And then it's all pretty. Excellent. Ain't she pretty, guys? We could put the seat on too, I reckon. Wrecked 'em, hell, damn near killed 'em. That way, when I realize that I need to take it back off again tomorrow, it'd be annoying. Push it like that. I think that's it. And I don't have to make noises anymore. I could just run it. I'm not really jacking this thing up that tall, that high, or for any long period of time. Where are you? You're over there. So I think it'll be fine. The main concern is I don't want to damage any motor mounts or anything like that. Now, basically what I'm going to do is stand this thing up. So if I was going to leave this on the jack for any period of time, I would want to put some ratchet straps on there and stabilize the whole thing. But right now it's pretty stabilized in there, and it's moving as a unit, meaning that I'm not seeing the motor moving independently from the motorcycle, because I am kind of utilizing the motor to jack it, but there's not really a better spot. So at this point, all I'm trying to do is get the back wheel off the ground. All right, that's all we want. All right, so we're relatively stable, and well, relatively stable. That reminds me, I need some more coffee. Yeah, more coffee. Cappuccino for my bunghole. Anyway, this is the other side, by the way. Speaking of all jacked up, we're going to get some chain cleaner and some lubricant, and we're going to hit this chain and try and clean it up without making too much of a mess, as we are going to utilize a drip pan type situation. We might just hit it with some good old WD-40 without anything else, I think, now that I'm saying it. So let's do that. Hey. Now I do have a little bit of brake noise there, but it's nothing out of the ordinary. It's actually sounds about right, which is just barely dragging. We're going to let that do its thing for a minute. And we'll utilize the WD-40 to clean the wheel while it's saturated in it. Drip. So what that is rusty WD-40 basically. But for now, we're going to let that WD-40 cook off. Not that it actually cooks, but just do its thing for a little while. Saturate, soak, infiltrate. and then we'll come back. Hey guys, we're back. Let's drench this bitch in WD-40 again. Yeah, I'm really low on WD-40. I'm out of WD-40 now. So that's not really cool, but it is what it is. I will say that chain sounds a lot better. Rear brakes work, make sure. And don't lock up, because that's what always happens on these older bikes. Yeah, see, that's it totally locks up immediately. So we need to figure out where that is. I think a lot of it is right up here. It's all right. It's up here. Our issue of lack of motion. And the reality is just my experience. I could feel where the resistance was. I am going to go ahead and spray this joint right here a little bit, and this one. Just kind of let it soak in some. Basically that joint right there was seizing up. And now that I've got some lubricant sprayed on it, the more that I work it, the more it will free up. The front brakes were working fine. I do not have brake lights at the moment, but I'm not that concerned about that. As far as the fuel tank, I'm just thinking real quick. I think we'll put some fuel in there and maybe shake it around some and then just run it out and see what comes out and go from there. How's that chain look? It's got lubrication with a little bit of viscosity, believe it or not. I don't know if you can see that. I don't want to touch it because my hands are clean. Guys, I think we're going to install the dashboard, and I think we're going to take this thing for a ride, is what we're going to do. Again, the gasket is sort of on there, maybe. And then we're just going to maybe get it back together right, but no, it ain't right. Ugh, of course not. It'd be easy. Oh, because the fucking screw's in it. Guys, I left the screw in it. Screwed myself over. Ah! That was a good one. Completely screwed myself over. See how much easier that was when I did it correctly? It's amazing how that works. We're just gonna pull that into place, attempting not to pull your whatever that muscle is. I warn you of that because I think I might have just done it to mine. Now, there was a driver, not a mini driver, but an actual driver. That is the correct size. All right, we are dashing. For my next trick, I'm going to go ahead and cut this fuel line, the one hose that I did replace. I would like to put a fuel filter in place, but what I'm going to do is leave enough that we can install a fuel filter in the future. So I knew this was going to be tight, and I actually did that on purpose. All right, kids, I have not lost my mind. As a matter of fact, it's right. Oh yeah, it's in my skull. My cranium. 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 Hey, can you hold that for me? No? Okay. Well, it would be more convenient if you would. So, whatevs. I'll just tuck you over there for now. And then you'll fall down and knock that over. right at the most inopportune time, which is right now. All right, so self-preservation. I'm going to somehow hold that jar in place while at the same time pouring fuel into the fuel tank, I guess. Just to see what happens, I guess. Yeah, I can't. Yeah, so can't is not... I had a boss once, and the thing that he taught me more than anything else was when I would say I can't do something, he would say, can't? He's like, well, if you don't do it, I'm going to have to do it. And boy, that would put some fire in my step real fast. Because it was a very good point. You might be having a hard time. You might need help. But with a lot of times when you say you can't do something, you're just struggling. And whoever you're telling you can't do it, you're expecting them to. So if they can, why can't you? And that was the tip of the day, the tip of the iceberg. Just the tip with smoke. I wonder what I did with the cap for that. There it is. Just the tip with smoke. That's a new segment of our show. All right. So if I turn to prime, this thing should dump fuel, theoretically. And it did. And it really doesn't look bad at all, which is pretty freaking awesome, guys. To the point where I'm going to go ahead and turn that off. Bro, y'all, dudes, kids, everyone, gang, smoke shoppers, that fuel is completely clear. I did more damage putting that into that jar than putting it into the fuel tank. So we have a nice, clean fuel system wherever you are. Yeah, we have, I should put up a poll. What should the fans of Smoke Shop be called? Shoppers or smokers? I kind of like shoppers. But somebody else said smokers, and somebody else said, well, I don't smoke. And I was like, well, that's okay. But then I realized it's like, well, what are our fans, what is our group going to be called? I think it's shoppers, SCHOPPERS. Comment below with your thoughts on that subject. And if you haven't yet, please subscribe, because that's the only thing that's going to help me get monetized. Golly! All right, we're going to take a break, and then when I'm going to and theoretically, I'm going to ride this thing out of the garage shortly. Oh, ugh. Ugh. Need to lube that. Basically, this thing needs to be lubed. Nothing like having a bunch of lube on your floor and trying to move a heavy motorcycle, relatively. Not super heavy. I mean, we could look up the curb weight, all that. I am going to put some air in these tires just to make everything a little easier. Go ahead. Compressor doesn't have any air in it. I'm not going to bother. There's plenty of air in these tires. Let's see what happens. Guess we want to prime it. And then turn it to reserve because I'm pretty low, of course. And then hit the choke, turn the key on, and guys, I mean, really? Come on up, kickstand. Forward controls are weird. Oh yeah. Flawless victory. Although I don't have a neutral light. Huh. And I definitely got dirt in my eyes. I didn't even look to see if the speedometer was working. Ah, I had dirt all in my eyes. I'd say that's a successful test run. We may take it back out in a minute. I want to make sure the fan kicks on and all that, because it has not yet. Whoa, this thing's heavy. Man, it sounds good. I do not have a fan yet, and that's a little bit concerning. But that's a fix for another day. We do have a fuel leak because I don't have a clamp on there. So we'll turn that back to on, which should basically turn it off. Otherwise, I would say that was a pretty nice shakedown. That's a sound I'm sure that bike has not heard in a long time. The cooling of the exhaust pipes. Man, this thing runs great. It's a little bit heavy. I get used to it, of course. Air pressure would probably help. Almost just burned myself on the pipes. But I mean, it's running beautifully. It needs work for sure. The fan has not come on at all. So, you know, it has issues. Not surprisingly. But overall, I think that's going to be a wrap on this one. If you want to know more about the history of this bike, check out that video over there. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.